Welcome to the Assent Podcast, Episode 4, Relationships. This is a podcast about assenting to the right principles. In the last episode, I talked about the importance of getting yourself in order, addressing forthrightly issues of body, mind, heart, and spirit as being a first step toward living a meaningful, purpose-filled life. If you are assenting to the wrong things in your own life, how are you going to be there for others? And being there for others is wisdom. We must cultivate relationships to live meaningful lives. Now, there are three types of relationships: the teacher relationship, the student relationship, and the partner relationship. A teacher is one who understands, knows, or has experienced, learned, felt, or done, or moved along the path of becoming in some narrow field or characteristic further than another. A student is simply one who is a seeker along a path. And partnerships are relationships between peers on equal footing. The default role you should strive for is that of the student. Never assume the teacher's role. Not everybody is looking for a teacher, especially your spouse or your business partner. They may respect strengths but have no desire to emulate them. Because the teacher's role is one of influence over the student. A student that decides they can teach the teacher is playing a losing game. Relationships are about emotion, your heart and theirs. You can make things physical, mental, or spiritual, but emotion is what roots you in humanity. All people make decisions based on emotions. We may justify it logically, but if our behavior puts us in bad emotional places, we are going to make challenges for ourselves and those we love. So be the humble student. How can we be the humble student? Start by observing people. Practice trying to see and determine what emotions people are feeling. This is going to be hard for the introvert because they may feel shy, and it's going to be hard for the extrovert because they are usually the one expressing and not reading the emotions of others. Begin practicing making eye contact. Eyes are the windows to your soul. Our deepest desire in life is to be seen. Practice making eye contact in emotional situations. How much eye contact is enough? I think science says 3 seconds. Be conscious of body language. By now, many people may be familiar with Jordan Peterson's lobster stories. If not, you should definitely check that out. But basically, start practicing standing up straight, head up and shoulders back. Speech with tone and tempo matter too. Blues Traveler's song Hook demonstrates this with the power of its 68 million listens on Spotify. Check out Blues Traveler's Hook if you aren't familiar with that. If I speak with great inflection, do I not draw you into my words, even if I have nothing to say? Be aware of the engagement you bring or don't bring to a conversation. Smile. You can even hear a smile. The customer service agent that says, "How may I help you?" versus, "How may I help you?" Which agent would you prefer? You can hear a smile. Hopefully, your school did a good job on grammar, but you can always be a student of the words and relationships, reading people and expressing yourself clearly. At the foundation of all of these things, physical smiles and tones, mental engagement, and emotional balance, is the idea of spiritual seeking. As Stephen Covey put it, seek first to understand and then to be understood. You can and should practice these things, but you should use them to observe in an attitude of seeking to understand those around you. Not just what they are saying, but why are they saying it? Being a student and learning to understand those around you will eventually lead to partnerships and teamwork. And this increases the complexity of relationships, but it can also lead to greater rewards. Partnerships have to be equally balanced. They take honesty and integrity to maintain this balance through the seasons of life. Not an honesty that points out the faults of others, but an honesty that reveals your faults. Not to seek your partner's help, but to show your partner that you are on a path of learning and growth. Unequal or unbalanced partnerships take serious work and effort to make right because we are all imperfect people. If your partner is outgrowing you, do not hamper them. Encourage and build them up. If you are outgrowing your partner, don't worry. Focus on yourself because one day that situation could be reversed. Or maybe you aren't really outgrowing your partner. You're just growing in different ways and you don't recognize those different growth patterns because of your own faults. In relationships, keep in mind 1 Corinthians 13, love is not rude. It is not self-seeking. It is not easily angered. It keeps no record of wrongs. It always protects. Thanks for listening to the Assent Podcast, a podcast about purpose, skills, people, environment, and resources. I hope this has been educational, inspiring, fun. See you next week. As always, helpful resources are below or in the notes. And please help me out by liking and subscribing to this podcast. Let me know what you think in the comments. What did you like? Where could I make this podcast better?